What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with another video. Today we're going to talk about Bruno Caboclo, a guy that may be in his contract extension year where they can either pay him very cheap because he has, I'll get into that later, but he played 3 seasons. Majority of the time he has played in the D League. The only reason why I bring this up is because he was the 20th pick, basically a lottery pick. If you're in the top 20, you're a lottery pick. They took a gamble. They drafted him earlier than what, well, this is based on what they were saying. They drafted him a little bit too early. He might have been available later in the draft. But Toronto, they already had DeMar. They already had Lowry. They already had a team that was in the playoffs. They said, hey, we'll take a gamble on this guy because he has potential, he has size, and we need a 3. And they say, hey, in 2014, we'll draft him early because we don't really need nobody right now. We need somebody that can probably be a good player in the future, or we already have our roster already ready, and they made the playoffs ever since then, and they was able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. The thing about it is, though, Bruno was drafted at 20th. The guy is long, he's lanky, he has a solid frame, his wingspan is ridiculous. The guy can basically get to the basket at will. It's hard to stop him because he can elevate and dunk over you. Kind of like Giannis. When I watch Bruno a little bit, he likes to dribble into the paint, get floaters, get dunks, lay it off the backboard, get to the free throw line. Not only that, he likes to stay near the basket. He doesn't really try to take too many jump shots unless he has to or is late in the shot clock. He wants to be like Giannis, a guy that just likes to dribble to the paint or stay near the paint, get dunks, layups all the time. Only difference is Bruno probably takes more jumpers than Giannis because Giannis know his bread and butter and he know he can't be stopped near the paint. Bruno, he plays similar, but he's not the playmaker. He's not the defender. He's not the rebounder, but they have similar ways of playing scoring wise. But at the end of the day, the thing that's funny to me is I thought the guy had potential too, and he still does. He's only 22. He's not. He's basically a bust because he only been able to play in the D League. Even though he played a couple games in the NBA, he didn't really play that many minutes. Though Isaiah Masiri still likes this guy. He still think he can become something great. He's been playing over in the D League for 3 straight years. This might be his 4th. And the Raptors, like I was about to say, do need a 3. DeMar Carroll, they say, hey, we got DeMar, we got Kyle Lowry. All we need is that last glue guy that can knock down threes, guard the LeBrons, guard the KDs, the Paul Georges, the Kawhi Leonards of the world. We need a guy that can guard them so DeMar don't have to waste all his energy playing defense, and Kyle Lowry can guard one of the hardest positions in point guards. And they went to go get DeMar Carroll. He could shoot threes and he can defend. He ended up having major injuries. He became a shell of himself. They get rid of him, and he goes to the Nets. And now you have a situation where you're going to, I think they're going to start Dwight Powell. And if they do start Powell, he's more of a guard. He likes to shoot threes. He's not really the playmaker. He's not really a glue guy to rebound into. He might have to do it now that he's a starter. He'll get the minutes, he'll get the opportunities. And now they having this pass first mentality offense where everybody touching the ball, they're trying to get the best shot instead of playing Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan until I die. Was basically mean we're going to isolate them, get them in their favorite spots, and live off that, which is tough shots, tough jumpers. And that's how they've been losing in the playoffs every year. It's too predictable. It's easy to game plan against. And if your role players, which they really don't, if they don't step up, then they're going to lose. And that's how they've been losing because they only rely on 2 people. Now they finally saying, oh, we need to move the ball more. We need to trust our teammates. We need to let the young people grow. And they should have been playing like that because they have Serge Ibaka, they have Jonas that can knock down jumpers, post up, score, dunk, everything. Serge Ibaka can shoot the 3, shoot the mid-range pick and roll, dunk, layup, drop off, putbacks. He can do all that too. So the thing about Bruno is this is going into his extension this year or after this year. Is he going to make it? Because like I said, he was a top 20 pick that they took a gamble on, and he hasn't really paid off at all. Yes, you can say, hey, they won the D-League championship. But you can actually say that because he did help win the D League championship, but he hasn't really helped them in the NBA. He helped them in the D League, but he didn't help them in the NBA. And the fun part about it is you get to see how good the guy is. You get to see what he needs to work on. You get to see how much he takes a pay cut because he ain't putting up no numbers. So they're going to give him a cheap contract because he hasn't really contributed in the NBA. Two, you know what to work on. You know how good he can be, and you know what you can use him in because you've seen him in the D League. You ran some sets for him. You see how he play, and you drafted him for particular reasons. Not only can you give him a real cheap deal because he hasn't really played on NBA minutes, you can give it to him for multiple years. And which means just like they did with the other guy, they gave him $42 million for 4 years because he hasn't really proved himself in the NBA. Those deals can become steals over time because they're not getting the minutes, they're not getting the playing time, and now they are. So now they have a chance to make an impact in the NBA when they get the minutes. And if they do make an impact, it can continue to increase because they're watching the footage, they're studying the film, they're learning what they can do, what they can't do, they making adjustments, and they're getting better because they're used to it. They played the teams a couple times, they know how they're going to guard them, they know how they're going to play them, and now you know your openness, now you know what you can get away from, now you know what you can do because you've been playing in the NBA for a whole season. Bruno hasn't done that, which means he's going to sign probably leave, or they probably going to trade him for a first or second round pick, or they're going to sign him to a cheap, probably 30, 40, $50 million deal for 3 to 4 years. And then you get a guy that maybe can develop into a star or at least that third piece in that front court, and he can probably be great because they do need a guy that can space out the floor, shoot the three. They need a guy that can defend, which he is athletic, long, and lanky enough to do. He can block jumpers. If you shoot in front of his face, he's so lanky that he can give you space and still contest the shot, kind of like Anthony Davis and Giannis. He can still block shots from a distance. He can clear so much space because he's so athletic and long that if you beat him off the dribble, he can block your shot. If you get an open three, he can rotate out and still be able to do a good contest or block the shot. And honestly, he's capable of averaging double digit just because he can get out in transition, get some alley-oops, get some dunks, not get some lanes because DeMar DeRozan pick and roll draws a lot of attention. Same with Kyle Lowry. He can get a lot of easy points like Otto Porter just because he's playing with great players and they take so much attention off of you that you can just get some backdoor cuts, you can get some transition, get to the free throw line because you got an open lane, or they passed it to you wide open, or they just took the attention off you and you just basically going undercover, getting easy buckets throughout the game. And that's what Powell gonna have to do too. But I just wanted to bring that up because right now, Bruno, NBA wise, he's a bust. I know, like I said, they took a gamble. He was supposed to be like a project. He was supposed to continue to make him grow, continue to see how good he can get. But now it's to the point where he's 22. You got to pay the man. Do you want to keep him? Is he good enough? Do you see enough potential? Or do you want to just get rid of him and get a short thing or just get a pick and try to take another swing at it? And so far, the deal hasn't really worked for them NBA-wise because now you got a guy that you still love potentially, but you don't really know if he can reach it because he played for your organization for 3 years and barely could get off the bench unless it was just garbage time. So I wanted to make the video to throw those points across, tell my opinion about it, and the fact that they actually at this point do need a small forward. And like I said, most of the small forwards like KD and Paul George and them is like literally 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", and he fits that 6'9" guy that's athletic and long and lanky that he might have been like, wow, we got the piece at the number 20th pick. And now they don't even know if they want to keep him and if he's even worth another 3 to 4 years. And then you paying him real money instead of just $2-3 million deal, $2, $3, $4, $5 million on a rookie contract. So let me know what you guys think. Is Bruno Caboclo a bust? Do you still believe in him? Do you still see the potential? Do you think now that they got rid of Carroll, now they need more help at the three, that he'll probably get minutes? Do you think that he actually can impact the Raptors in the future or now? Or do you just think like, hey, we tried him, he just didn't work out, Let's just take what we can get, or let him leave in free agency, and we just get the cap space because he aspiring contract. I don't really know what they're going to do. I like what he can do. I like his potential, but at the same time, the player, you can teach him, you can show him, you can try to make him apply these skills. He still has to do it on the court. He still has to take it even more serious, and he still has to continue to put the work in and develop. You can do all the things for him. He still got to want it for himself, and if he don't want it for himself, the results ain't going to pay off, and the results haven't really paid off now. And it may not play off in the future, but that's the gamble that you have in the NBA. Players can always leave. Like Jimmy Butler, one minute he was trash, next minute he's an all-star. You really don't know what a player can work on, what they can do, and it is almost a contract year for him. Maybe he wants to show that he can do more so he can get paid more, or maybe he's just waiting for his opportunity to show what he got. And he was able to do that in the D League, but he hasn't been able to do it in the NBA. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. The link will be in the description in the comment section below. Also, check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. The link will be in the description in the comment section below. All you got to do is click the link, get sent to my website. Click the link, get sent to my Facebook page. And let me know what you guys think about Bruno Caboclo. Is he a bust? Can he be a star in the future? Do we just need the minutes? Do we need to just go to a team that he can play more minutes for and then develop by learning through trial and error? There's a lot of questions we have about this guy. Even in 5 years, will he even be in the NBA? Because sometimes once your rookie contract up, teams don't resign you or no team wants you, and then you got to play overseas. Kind of like Trey Burke. 1 minute, everybody was using him because he was on a rookie deal and he was a solid point guard. And now he don't even have an NBA contract because nobody wants to pay him and they don't even think he's worth it. But when he on that rookie deal, he's flexible, he's movable, and he's going to be an aspiring contract in the future. And that's where Bruno Caboclo is at right now. Let me know what you guys think. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm done.